On the internet, sometimes you have to get really creative to stand out from the crowd, which births some legends, like the great Tide Pod eaters of yesteryear, or the absolute champion, the brave soul who attempted the hot coil challenge where he put his forearm on a stovetop. And these ideas are always made with the intent of getting views and going viral. And today I learned about someone who tried a new tactic: derailing a train for YouTube views.
Charges have now been filed against a Lancaster County teen accused of intentionally causing this train derailment out in Bennett. The 17-year-old even sent this video to 1011 afterwards. You see there some of those cars veering off of the tracks. It happened at the crossing at Highway 43 back on April 22nd. A criminal complaint says that between the rail itself and the train engines and cars, about $350,000 worth of damage was done. That teen has now been charged with 2 felony counts of criminal mischief, but he is not in custody at the moment. Attorneys have filed a motion to move his case to county court and to try him as an adult.
A very interesting strategy here. This sounds like some kind of lame plot that Cobra Commander would have cooked up to lure out the G.I. Joe, except here it's just used for views. There's so many things to unpack here, but one thing I'm very curious about is where he planned to go from here. Like, let's say he did get a huge audience for derailing the train. Does he just keep amping up the stakes? Like, next video, he smuggles a bomb onto a plane. Follow-up video, he drops depth charges into the Suez Canal. Like, I don't know how you keep upping the mischief to keep the audience hooked here. It seems like this is a one-and-done thing, unless he was just going to be some kind of, like, serial train derailer, like the worst Saturday morning cartoon villain ever. So, who knows what the potential was behind this young lad's YouTube career, but he is being charged, and it looks like it's going to be very serious charges. $350,000 in damages, that's a lot of clams. He's going to have to sell a lot of Hot Wheels and maybe even his Fortnite account to start trying to make up for that.
Of also pulling a rail switch, ultimately causing that derailment. The lead investigator says the accused 17-year-old walked up during the investigation and asked what happened, later telling the investigators it was, quote, obvious that the switch had been pulled, and then showed the investigator the video you're seeing now. Railway police believe that security cameras in the area showed the teen not only driving up to the scene, but also setting up a camera minutes before the derailment.
I guess I've never seen a real-life train derailment, which is maybe the purpose behind his video, to educate us on what they actually look like. Because in my head, I always picture it the way Hollywood portrays it, where when a train derails, it's going at like fucking Mach 5 speed, and even when the emergency brake is cranked, it doesn't really do anything to stop it, so then the cars just start shooting off the tracks in every which way as Linkin Park's What I've Done plays. But clearly that's not the case in reality. So the conductor attempted to make an emergency stop, but didn't have enough time to do so before reaching the point of no return, and then it collided with an empty coal car. And it's very lucky that there weren't more damages, because I imagine in a situation like that, it's pretty common for some of the cars to start, like, not flipping over, like they're not doing like a fucking kickflip or a pop shove it and falling off the tracks, but like tipping over and shit once they get off the tracks, and especially when they collide with something huge like an empty coal car. So it definitely sounds like it could have been a lot worse there, so it was lucky that it didn't get as bad. And speaking of lucky, you can get really lucky right now by getting Goof Juice. It's going to improve your luck stat because it's the best beverage ever made. It's the best flavor. My GamerSupps Goof Juice flavor is available right now. There's a huge sale. gamersupps.gg/moist, or click the link in the description. Reading about it just makes the whole thing even stupider though, because the kid wanted to record it and share it on YouTube, so he hatched this nefarious scheme to go pull the lever after setting up a camera so he could film a train derailing, and then he stayed at the scene the entire time, and was even the one who alerted authorities to the incident. So he approached the investigator asking what caused the crash, and the investigator said he didn't know, so the suspect allegedly said, obviously a switch was flipped the wrong way. And I can already just imagine, like, he's putting a pinky to his mouth like Dr. Evil. He then even showed investigators the video he took, but denied trespassing and tampering with the switch. I guess he was really hoping that absolute bumbling imbeciles would have shown up that would have chalked up his presence and video recording equipment as just being some kind of coincidence. Dude shows up with like a fucking full-blown studio here to record this, and he expected the authorities to be like, huh, that's weird. Who could have done this? Must have been the fucking goat man. Like, Jesus Christ, I guess he was really expecting, like, NPCs from Assassin's Creed to show up that just immediately de-aggro when you go into tall grass. Like, must have been the wind. Probably wasn't this kid fucking filming everything here. So, he was also spotted setting up his camera and tripod near the crossing 4 minutes before the train derailed. And then they also found a video of the derailment posted to their YouTube channel. So, I mean, that was kind of a game point right there. That was kind of a checkmate. The 17-year-old's apparently a huge train enthusiast. That's what their YouTube account mainly dedicated to. And it's a big community on YouTube with, like, train videos, train spotting, and all of that. But I don't think anyone's gone so far as to intentionally derail a train to stand out in the community. That's definitely breaking new ground there. I am shocked, though, how easy it was for him to do that. Like, I just always imagined there'd be, like, actual security parameters in place to prevent just any old fucking Joe Schmo from walking up and just cranking a lever to change a train track. But I guess in this case, there was a padlock that was supposed to be there that wasn't there. Or perhaps this rabbit hole goes deeper. I'm going to put on the tinfoil hat here and blast your ass with a conspiracy theory. What if he wasn't working alone? What if there was an entire network here that set up this train derailment? What if it was the deep state using this 17-year-old to derail the train and cause havoc? Perhaps they were banking on even more damages with cars flipping over, maybe spilling some hazardous waste or something. So someone on the inside at the trail company, Jesus Christ, at the train company, they took the padlock away. They had a secret agent go in there, remove the padlock, and then the 17-year-old showed up and had free access to that lever and then to film it. And this is just the fall guy that we're looking at here. Food for thought. Something worth stewing on a bit. Now only time will tell as the investigation continues what the truth of the matter was, but most likely it was just someone fishing for YouTube views through a really degenerate viral video idea. Now, there is something I want to mention about trains. I may have never seen a train derail, but I have seen a train stop. That may not be some jaw-dropping feat or an achievement. I'm sure millions of other people have seen stopped trains before, but mine comes with a story. So there was a train track that ran right outside of my university when I was in college, and one night when going to a bar, the train had broken down, and it was stopped on that train track, and everyone at the bar would go and, like, climb on it and take pictures on it, and I wanted to be part of the crowd, so I did the same. And I took a picture in front of the train with my arms crossed. I'm pretty sure I pulled this up on stream at one point, but I used this as one of my Tinder profile pics for quite a long time. And it is perhaps one of the most revolting pictures you will ever find. It's so fucking stupid, it's so blurry, it looks like a picture of Sasquatch, and it is such a bad photo of me. It's when I still had, like, the mutton chops for a little while. God bless, what a fucking awful idea that was. But I looked like Wolverine if he got scurvy. So I was standing there in front of the train, arms crossed and, like, semi on my tippy toes, so I looked a little bigger in front of the train. And I unironically used that as my Tinder profile pic for quite a while. And I just had to share that here. I'm pretty sure I brought up that picture on stream, but I don't know if I ever told the full story to it. So seeing a train derail isn't really the same as seeing a train stopped and taking a picture in front of it, but both instances do involve a train. So, felt the need to share. That's about it. See ya. A Clout-obsessed goofball on TikTok just ate parasites for views. He turned his stomach into Coachella for tapeworms when he knowingly ate tapeworms out of a fish that he was filleting, which to the surprise of no one apparently gave him a very serious parasitic infection here. Who could have seen that coming? He was eating tapeworms out of the fish like it was popcorn. I'm exaggerating a little bit. He did try to cook it to make it a little safer, but then I'll get into it a bit deeper in a moment. I'm getting into spoilers here for the anime arc. But anyway, his name is Nick, and his insatiable appetite for great high-quality fish was eclipsed by his gluttony for TikTok attention. I learned about this from a YouTuber named Atozi, so I appreciate him shedding light on this story because I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So let's just get into it. Actually, pump the brakes real quick, hold your horses. Sorry for the blue balls. In Atozi's video, he censors the part that shows the tapeworms because there's a lot of blood there, because obviously he's filleting a fish, so there's going to be blood. I don't know if you have to do that on YouTube, but I'm not going to for this. I feel if I don't show the tapeworms, then there's always going to be that question in the back of people's mind on, is it fake? Because most things on the internet are fake these days, but this one, I don't think is. It would be very impressive props here to have a fish with tapeworms that look like this.
Let's go fishing in the hurricane. I'm gonna be using a whopper flopper, which is a topwater lure. This guy's coming in at 13 inches and a quarter. He has some nice fillets on him. There's pulling all over the place. Realizing that he has tapeworms, so it's gonna be pretty tough to eat. I looked it up, and apparently if you cook the fish thoroughly, the tapeworm shouldn't affect you, but I can't say that I'm not experiencing problems after I ate it.
So everything was business as usual here. Nick is a big TikTok creator. He has over 6 million followers, and it was just a normal filleting of a fish until he saw the tapeworms, and then, oh boy howdy, he got some dollar signs in his eyes, and he started to recognize that that is the gold right there. He just got the jackpot, because now he had something that he could do that's a little different that would generate some views for him. Eat the tapeworms. Because for some reason, everyone's like so poisoned with content brain that even something that is detrimental to your health, like eating a tapeworm, is something that people think is a good idea because it'll get extra views with people pointing and laughing at you or calling you an idiot, and that's all that matters is if you're getting extra attention. So he does it.
This is the fillet I got. I seasoned it, threw it in the pan, and then presented it right next to the tapeworms, which was a mistake. Yo, low-key, like, the tapeworms add some flavor. They're pretty good. This might be TMI. It's been 2 days and I've not stopped going to the bathroom. I'm kind of afraid that I literally have tapeworms in my stomach. I've never gone to the bathroom this much in my life. I'm mildly concerned. If you know anything about this in the comments, please let me know because I'm kind of afraid that I have a parasite.
Hey Nick, I'm not a medical professional, but you ate tapeworms, so I'm going to say with a high level of confidence, you probably contracted a parasite. But, you know, I'm not highly educated when it comes to parasites. I'm just doing the old eyeball test here. Now, you can shit all over Nick like he's a public toilet seat. You can make fun of him for a lot of different things here for all the fuck-ups with eating the tapeworms, but one thing you can't hold against him, one thing you can't say he did wrong, was his presentation. He has a talent for plating. But I tell ya, that technique was flawless. The way he presented the fillet and the tapeworms was exquisite. That's something Gordon Ramsay would give his stamp of approval to. That was S-tier plating right there. It's just a shame that he was plating a tapeworm buffet.
Update on the tapeworms that I ate the other day. I went to the doctor and he said it is more than likely that I have tapeworm or some kind of parasite inside me. I'm going to the bathroom nonstop. My stomach is killing me. He prescribed me 3 different medications that are anti-parasitic. We've all seen that video of the bear that has like a 50-foot tapeworm coming out of his butt, and that literally could have been me if I didn't get to the doctor in time.
I've never seen that video, Nick. I don't even know why you'd assume that I'd see that video. I'm not looking up bear ass, and certainly not infected bear ass. But now that I've seen the clip, what a wacky one, huh? Jesus Christ. That tapeworm leaking out of its anus, that looks like it's just landed after skydiving. Like, it looks like the parachute strings when you're, like, walking away with your parachute bag and all that hanging out. That is a crazy tapeworm. Is that some kind of world record, or is that kind of normal? I don't really look into, you know, parasites all that often, shockingly.
The doctor didn't know what kind of worm it was, so he just like gave me all the different anti-parasitic things. Some of the worms cause seizure, muscle damage, and like you can lose your eyesight because the worms get in there. If there is any lesson you learned from this, it would be do not eat worms inside of a bath.
A lesson I didn't think anyone ever needed to be taught. I feel like that's just basic common human knowledge that everyone would intrinsically be born with. The only reason you ate them is because your mind is so warped and rotted from all of this desire for more and more TikTok attention that for some reason you were able to justify putting your health at risk here. Now, interestingly, it only gets worse from here. So he went to the doctor, apparently got, you know, some medication to help combat the mystery worm inside of him, even though I don't think it's much of a mystery. If I was playing a game of Guess Who, I think I'd get this one on my first guess. I think the culprit is a tapeworm. I'll take the mask off of the villain here like it's Scooby-Doo. I think it's a tapeworm that you've contracted. Yeah, just a hunch. But anyway, he gets the medication. He's now got a plan of attack here to get himself feeling better. And then something very, very interesting happens. This video gets posted.
Update on the tapeworm situation with Nick. 7:30 this morning, Nick passed away at the Kaiser Hospital. I was with him over the last 24 hours and he wanted me to inform you guys on the situation. Nick was on antiparasitic medication and unfortunately it was not working. The worm spread to his eyes and brain. By the time we made it to the hospital, it was clear that Nick was not going to be able to make it.
That's when the really dramatic organ music comes in. Doom! So he didn't survive, apparently. So this is a friend of his, I guess, announcing that he passed away from the tapeworms that he contracted from eating the fish. Much to the chagrin of his audience, who was very upset, saying things like, you know, fly high, Nick, you know, rest in peace, this and that. It's just a real sad situation to see someone go down this way.
Tomorrow Eternal Funeral Services is where we're going to be hosting something for Nick at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. It is going to be an open casket. He wanted you to know. Hopefully you guys can all remember him fondly, and I'll be seeing you guys all at the service.
I apologize for the trauma I just gave you guys. I assure you I'm happy, I'm here, and I'm going to be making content for a very long time.
Oh my god, it's a miracle! He's not dead! Oh, we've been fooled! He played us like a fiddle. Wow! You know, just like Dino Spumoni, he faked his own death here with the ultimate goof. So, this is the cringiest shit ever. What's even wilder is the day before, or I don't know if it was exactly the day before, but the video before this, he actually had posted something about losing his brother, talking about the death of his brother here. And I think that one's being truthful. I don't think that one's also some kind of sick fucking twisted joke. So that's some psychopath shit to go from talking about the death of your brother into misleading your audience of children into thinking that you're dead. Now, no one watches the full video for things. Not on YouTube, not on TikTok. People don't even read past the headline on an article on Twitter before, you know, clicking off and already making up their mind about it. So not many people watch the whole video for when Nick came out of nowhere with a patriotic, heroic return. So most people just assume that the guy talking in the beginning here was being honest. You know, like they just took him at his word because they don't know any better. They're young kids on TikTok. It was also super weird that they just dropped a funeral service homepage and told people that there was a celebration of life, a funeral taking place there for Nick. And like I said, a lot of people didn't watch the whole video, so I'm curious if anyone actually showed up to that place expecting a service.
Don't cancel me, Nick made me do it.
The antiparasitic medication did work, guys. I am feeling a lot better. I am editing this video right now, and it is definitely the wildest publicity stunt I've ever done. I have officially faked my own death.
I made a joke about Dino Spumoni, which is a reference to Hey Arnold. It's a guy who actually did fake his own death. That's not what you did, though. You didn't fake your own death. All you did was just lie. Like for only like 20 seconds, too. You just had your friend come out and say that you were dead. It's not faking your own death. That's just like a really lazy, lame prank. Like, that's like the pranks I would do on April Fool's Day in middle school when I'd tell my friends Dragon Ball Z spoilers that weren't real. Like, it's just dumb. Like, it's not some clever, crafty plot that you've hatched, like some genius plan to fool everybody. I think there's a good chance the tapeworms weren't actually defeated, and his friend is right. The worms spread to his brain. Because you have to have brain worms to have come up with this idea. It's so fucking stupid and weird.
I'm really happy that you guys are holding me accountable for this because creators lying to their audiences is not cool, especially in the manner that I did. I was under the impression that because I was at the end of the video that it would wind up being taken as a lighthearted joke. I should have definitely seen that that was a super foolish take. It was just dumb.
Yeah, he followed it up with this apology video. His audience said, too much cringe, I'm out, lame joke, trash, goodbye. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm sorry. This was dumb. I don't know what I was thinking, it was stupid. You know, I can't tell you how effective it was. I'm not overly familiar with Nick outside of the tapeworms saga here. But yeah, I just wanted to cover this story because it's just a perfect example of how delusional people have become, that they will put their health at risk just for the sake of a couple extra views on TikTok, and then follow through with even stupider plans like pretending that you died for like 20 seconds, I guess for the sake of shock views or something. I don't really know, but it's just all very stupid. I want to talk about it. That's about it. So yeah. I'm about to drop a name on you like an anvil out of a Saturday morning cartoon. It's a name that you probably haven't heard in quite some time, like Hoobastank. No disrespect to Hoobastank, they had some bangers back in their day. But this is a name that you're going to have to dust off the cobwebs for to try and remember who they are. the Island Boys. Back in late 2021, they went viral for this song, I'm an Island Boy, that one. They became the punching bag of the internet, the biggest clowns that were not afraid to just keep dancing for everyone to laugh at, throw tomatoes at, and shoot spitballs at. They were the biggest joke online for quite a while. And everyone already knew that their time in the limelight was limited, but I don't think anyone knew exactly how long it would last, or rather, how short it would be. Because just like Hans Gruber at the end of Die Hard, they fell off, and in a big way. And to Clout goblins, that is a fate worse than death, because that attention is the most addictive drug in the world, and the Island Boys are some very strong addicts. They need attention more than they need air. They need attention more than their body needs water. It's like the most crucial nutrient in their diet. So when they stopped getting that attention, they lost their goddamn minds. They went fucking wild. They tried everything to get back in the public eye. They tried YouTuber boxing, they tried starting drama with other internet creators, they tried everything. They even did military recruitment for a little while, which was a wild arc in the Island Boy saga, and none of it was enough to get people to talk about or laugh at them again. Man, what the fuck? So I just noticed that for the entire opening of this video, I had a booger stuck in my mustache, just hanging on for dear life there. I'm not going to redo any of this, so I'm just going to let it ride. But I'm very disappointed that none of you stopped me to tell me about it, letting me just go on, continue making myself look like a fool, a greasy loser with boogers in his beard. Yucky. But anyway, the Island Boys, they fell from grace just as quickly as they rose to popularity, and everyone forgot about them. The end, right? Wrong. Because in the Island Boys' desperation, at the deepest pits of the Shadow Realm to which they were banished to, they hatched one last nefarious idea in order to get people to talk about them again. Incest. I'm not exaggerating and I'm not lying either. The Island Boys are back in the public eye because they are making out with each other, and just today announced that they're releasing an oral sex video with one of the brothers sucking the other brother's cock. If you didn't know, the Island Boys are actually brothers. It's not like some kind of, stepmom porn genre thing, like fake incest thing. They are legitimately brothers, and their plan has been for the last week or so, maybe a bit longer, to just keep making out with each other in videos and keep ramping up how sexual it gets from kissing all the way till now, where one of them's sucking the other's dick. I'd be willing to bet by the end of the week they'll be fucking each other on OnlyFans as well. I guess their strategy is to farm clout off incest enthusiasts? I don't know, but they're over the moon about being talked about again. They've been making tons of response videos, even going on streams and doing podcasts and interviews about it. So they've been fully back in their press tour grind, and they have been doing everything possible to milk all the juice out of this tit. They've been giving all of these statements to publications. Initially, they were saying that they're both straight, and this is just a normal thing to do with your brother, which is a wild take. I can't imagine that that's a normal sibling activity. It shouldn't be. I can't picture a Thanksgiving meal where, your brother comes into town bringing some food, and you're like, man, food was fire. Come here, let me see that neck. And you start, sucking on his neck like a vampire or some shit. It's just not a normal thing, and I'm sure the Island Boys know that. They're just saying things to get people to keep talking about them. And then the following day, basically, one of the Island Boys went on a stream and came out as gay. And then after that, I actually saw some people come forward to say that the only reason people are outraged at the Island Boys is because of homophobia, which I think is a delusional take. It's 2023. I don't have any problem with anyone being gay or anything at all. Most people in the world don't. This is incest. That's a whole new ballgame. That's an entirely different planet. And their incest is driven by the desire to get attention from people that are finding it and being understandably perturbed by it, because it gets them attention, and then it gets them talking, and then the Island Boys keep feeding that flame to keep the perpetual motion machine going, and obviously that gets even more people talking about them, which seems to be the only thing in the world they care about. And it's just so fascinating to me how people's minds can be so poisoned by internet attention, to the point where it deteriorates in their brains so much that they will scratch at their neck desperately trying to think of a way to get that high of clicks and conversation about them going again. And then they resort to something this degenerate, Like, oh geez, most recent Instagram post only had 50 likes. Alright, that's it. I'm going with the nuclear option. Bro, get out your meat and your iPhone. We got business to take care of. We're not being talked about enough. We're throwing the Hail Mary. Like, it blows my mind that we are at this point in society where these two people never should have been famous in the first place. They got famous because everyone was making fun of them. And it became the most important component of their existence. And when that 15 minutes of fame finally dried up, they didn't know what to do with themselves. They couldn't imagine going forward in life without it. So for the last almost 2 years, all they've done is try to do everything possible to get people to talk about them again. And it's culminated into this shit now, where they're literally sucking their dicks because incest is alarming, obviously. And by alarming people, people will obviously start talking about it. And since people are talking about it, the Island Boys are happy. That's all that matters to them. They clearly don't care that it's negative attention. In fact, I don't think they've ever once in their life had positive attention, so this is an all too familiar feeling. All they know is negative attention and being that clown in the circus. It's so fucking sad what people will do just for attention. Like, this is disgusting stuff that they've resorted to now. They're no longer just cringe goofballs, you know, very silly goobers with some embarrassing shit and constantly making an absolute mockery out of themselves. They're no longer just on that cringe department. They've gone into a totally different realm here with all of the incest shit that they're putting out there. And I have a feeling that it's only going to continue to escalate. Eventually, people will stop talking about the incestuous island brothers here. And by eventually, I mean immediately. I think within the next couple days, people will stop talking about them altogether forever, because now, there's nothing to laugh at anymore, it's just gross incest. So, before, the Island Boys had, you know, mainstream attention because it was something everyone could flip on, laugh at, dunk on them for, make fun of them for. It was cringy, it was silly, and even the Island Boys seemed to be in on the joke and laughing with everybody as the kings of cringe. They were all aboard the cringe train that left the station, and they were the conductors. This situation is completely different. This is just two brothers slurping each other's wieners. That's not exactly a wacky thing that people are going to share around to, like, laugh at as some kind of, like, wholesome, cringy thing. That's just something people are going to be like, no thanks. Don't really want to watch incest. So then most people just turn it off and forget about the Island Boys forever. Again. It's just such a crazy situation. To be so attention hungry, so clout driven, that you would resort to just filming incest porn with your brother to sell on OnlyFans. But yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. I want to quickly address something that I've been ignoring the last few days. The reason I've been wearing so many black t-shirts is because my white t-shirts were being washed and I forgot that they were still in the hamper in the laundry room, so I've just been grabbing black t-shirts after my showers. That's it. There's no, like, deeper meaning to it. Now anyway, I want to share with you a video that is probably one of the most embarrassing things I've seen someone post on their own accord. This is a video that you couldn't torture me enough to release. Like, this is something that I would try to bury. I would spend every dollar I've ever earned in order to erase this video from the fucking internet because it is so unbelievably cringe. This is something that I would take to my grave, and even after I'm dead, would still have blushing cheeks and feel shame for having ever filmed. And this is something that they freely posted on their own. It's a group of kids that are harassing McDonald's employees.
Walk into the back of McDonald's again!
Yeah, I wasn't exaggerating. These are actual milk-drinking, diaper-shitting children. But that doesn't excuse the behavior, and it's mainly the reason I want to talk about this, because they get away with doing all kinds of degenerate shit because they know the authorities can't fully punish them, so they always just get slaps on the wrist, if that. Which just allows these clout-hungry little goblins to continue doing this degenerate shit for views on TikTok, and then they grow up into just fucking losers. I understand you can't just throw these 13-year-olds in jail for any of this, but there has to be some kind of punishment to fit the crime. Like, okay, you kids went on video to harass these McDonald's workers, so we're going to your house and we're taking away your Xbox, and we're repossessing all of your Fortnite V-Bucks and deleting your account. There's just gotta be something, because clearly they're not getting discipline from their parents at home, probably just being sat down in front of an iPad having their fucking brains rot, so they think this is a good idea, and that the only thing that matters in the world is internet views, so they keep coming up with dumb shit like this, harassing McDonald's workers, and that's just the gateway drug. In 5 years, next they'll be doing like the fucking Kia challenge where they're stealing cars, and then next it's charging people in a Walmart parking lot with a knife, and then they get themselves shot.
As you can see, I'm walking, yeah? I'm walking. Let's go, let's check the inspection. The inspection. I'm a wife from Alright, let's check the inspection. I'm walking, Let's check the inspection. Thank you very much. Inspection.
It's a sensory overload because the kid who filmed it is also doing voiceover after the fact, so it's overlapping. It sounds like you're caught in like a Dormammu time loop. It's just constant words and nonsense. It sounds like when you're playing Chivalry 2 and people are just spamming voice lines all over the place. It sounds like when the fucking nematodes show up to the Krusty Krab. It is miserable to listen to. Also, I have no idea why they were making all of those clicking noises when they entered the McDonald's. I'm guessing that's just them trying to be quirky with their signature style. But really the background noise that should have been playing whenever they roll up on something should be circus music, because they're a bunch of clowns. Now, I know all of this sounds mean because they're actual kids, so I'm picking on children, but god damn it, the authorities aren't doing anything about it, so I might as well step in and try and, like, you know, deliver some hard truths that what they're doing is fucking cringe and embarrassing and they should feel shame for it. Like, this is awful. It's fucking stupid. They should be insulted for it. Like, especially now, so that way they'll stop doing it.
Inspection. Crazy. I have to check the inspection, I have to check the fries and everything. But man, I have to check everything just in case. And me and my bro, we got locked in there, bro. Look, me and my brother. They locked us in it. They locked us in it.
It just doesn't stop. So they're in the back of the kitchen, they're like walking around, like touching some of this shit, bothering all of the workers, just being an actual headache. Just a blemish on society here. Just for nothing other than TikTok views. It's so fucking juvenile. And yes, I know they're kids, goddammit, I get it. But this is fucking trash. This shouldn't be encouraged. Hats off to the McDonald's workers for taking swift action here. They immediately call the police and then close the door so that way they're trapped in that one location till the police get there. And also, I'm gonna give a little free advice to the kid that filmed this. Give up. Making videos is just not for you. Like, the whole idea behind this with walking to the back of the kitchen is garbage in the first place, but also you clearly have no fucking clue what you're doing. You're doing voiceover while all of the other words are being spoken, so it's just pure commotion and pandemonium. No one can make out anything that's going on here. It sounds like we're listening to Charlie Brown's parents. It's fucking awful. Just stop. Just try and commit to something else that's not fucking pranks or whatever this was supposed to be.
My legs were sinking. My heart was bum 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 bum. I was scared. Like Ronaldo. Call the police. Call the police. Sexual harassment. I'm recording this. I'm recording this.
It literally sounds like they're accidentally emoting. But anyway, you can see that these little scumbags aren't just here doing an innocent prank. Now they're saying that if the police get there, they're going to say that they were sexually harassed by the workers. That's a serious thing to do. I mean, that's a fucking crime to falsely report something like that. That's just downright evil. That's just straight up fucking evil.
Man, then we're outside in the fucking district every fucking time. Bro, what are you gonna do, bro? Come, badness, bro. Record me. What trying to be? I was like, hey, girl, record me. You might as well get my number before I'm hang. You just walked in. You guys do that,
Honestly, this whole video kind of sums up the human brain on TikTok really well. It is actual constant fucking noise. Just gibberish. Literal random fucking noises at all seconds because they didn't want a single millisecond to go by without some kind of fucking noise because there needs to be perpetual jingling keys on that platform, which is why there's always like Subway Surfers underneath every video. It's kind of frightening. I really do wonder what TikTok has done to the human brain and if we're going to see any kind of wild effects from that in like 10 years. If people are just going to be completely unable to focus on one thing, they're going to need like multiple things in order to keep their attention.
You are not. Why you coming? out. Let me get out.
Why you coming
Boss, can I
fast?
go out?
Why you coming
No,
fast?
because someone... Boss, can I come out? Can I come out?
It just doesn't fucking stop. It sounds like listening to a team of Pikmin trying to lift something heavy. Now, I know that I kind of insinuated that I view a lot of these things like a failure of parenting, and that's not always the case, and I recognize that. It's kind of wrong of me to assume that kids like this are the product of bad or neglectful parents. Sometimes there are just people that are too far gone, like kids that get too deep into this obsession with internet brownie points, the updates, the likes on TikTok, and no amount of good parenting can kind of curb that. It's just a lesson that the kids have to learn themselves when they realize that all of that effort was wasted and that they've just turned into a fucking loser from chasing it.
Tell him again, bro. What? I ain't scared. You ain't scared. Pussios, bro. Come fight me, bro.
I don't know.
Open the door. Boss, you gonna let us go or you just gonna stay here? Because I'm gonna tell the police that you strangled me because you strangled my neck. I have video footage of you strangling my neck.
It's the teenagers.
Yeah, you never strangled my neck. But I just said like you strangled my
16.
neck so you could like get me out.
Another one of those false claims that could ruin a person's life if they tried that. So now, not only were they going to accuse them of sexual harassment, but also accuse this guy of strangling the kid's neck. And he even admits, like, yeah, that guy never did that, I was just going to say that. Which is fucking crazy. That's nuts. That is just evil. Like, full stop. That is just evil shit.
My neck started to do the stanky last night. Stanky last night, and I'll break your leg. Break him. Are you man? That was a mother. I'm under. We got freed. Bow. The fence came. Bow.
Yeah, so you just get to walk out after the police get there. I really do think all of the workers handled this pretty well. They immediately called the authorities, kept them there till they got there. It's just a shame that all of that effort was moot, and the kids will likely just come back and do this again for more internet views since this kind of went viral for them. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because there's been like a real rise in kids doing stupid shit in public for the sake of internet views and at the expense of just normal workers. It's really frustrating shit, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon since the kids aren't getting punished for it, so why would they stop? They don't care about like the negative reception they get online. All they care about is the big number they see next to their views. Nowadays, it feels like kids are almost incentivized to be the biggest douchebag possible as early as possible so that way they can start farming views because outrage is the quickest way to like relevancy on TikTok and that TikTok fame that they even mention in this video. Like, they are clearly aware that by being an asshole in public, they're going to get some attention from it. So it's almost like incentivized, and there's just got to be some way to curb that. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit. That's about it. So yeah, today I learned about an inspiring story of one man's unwavering determination in order to accomplish his dreams and then finally succeeding. It's a heartwarming, wholesome story that I'm excited to share with you, but it got me thinking about a deeper message: the value of hard work. As a YouTuber, I of course know a thing or two about back-breaking labor. Being an internet content creator is often considered one of the most physically demanding things a human being can subject themselves to on the planet, second only to maybe being a firefighter, or even third place if we're going to give second to something like a mother in labor. But even there, that's a close competition. That's neck and neck. You could have a very intense debate there on which one's harder work. You know, a mom's only giving birth like once a year, maybe. I'm giving birth every day to a brand new YouTube video. So, you know, we don't need to get into the weeds of it. The point is, going out there, entering turbo mode plus ultra and giving it 150%, just putting your best foot forward to work towards a dream is something beautiful. And for some reason, a lot of people these days are very defeatist, like, you know, kicking sand and saying, it doesn't matter how hard I work, I won't accomplish, you know, what I want to, my goals in life. And to that I say, bah humbug. I spit on that. It's like you've never watched anime and the power of never giving up. So I want to make you believe in dreams again. I want to show you the story of Josh Nally. I don't know how many of you have heard of his story, but it's pretty inspiring. Josh is a TikTok content creator who hatched an absurd idea a year ago. An idea so extreme people called him crazy. Said, this man's lost his marbles. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. This is such a dumb idea. But you know what Josh said in response to that? Nothing. He put his head down and went on that Sigma male grind set, and committed to the dream, the goal that he set for himself. You see, Josh Nally wanted to be a professional corpse. He came up with the idea of pretending to be dead every day for a year in the hopes that it would eventually land him a spot on a television show or movie as a dead body. And by golly, I'm happy to say Josh has done it. As God is my witness, Josh has pulled it off and has landed a role in a new CSI episode as a corpse. But let me walk you through the humble beginnings. It all started with a dream and a man who was brave enough to follow it. He lied face down in a small body of water as his dogs looked on concerned, and he was the most convincing dead body I'd ever seen. His acting is second to none. He looks more dead than actual mangled corpses. He somehow looks even more deceased than the legitimately dead. Josh was born with a gift, nay, a curse, that when he lie in the prone position, he is easily mistaken as dead. And he wasn't afraid to use this ability to get ahead in life. I'd like to show you a bit of a story Inside Edition just made on Josh, because I find it very touching.
This guy has been playing dead for an entire year.
Day 19.
Every day on TikTok, there's Josh Nally, yup, lifeless.
Lifeless, maybe. Dreamless, no. His faith never wavered. Anyone can act alive, but it takes a special talent to act dead, and especially to the caliber that Josh is able to perform.
Day 50, playing unalive.
Let's see if I can't maybe get into a movie or television show.
Did he say TV show? Well, guess what? It worked.
All of the hard work, the year-long commitment that Josh put into this art form paid off. He was contacted by CSI Vegas, and they recognized the skill. They needed him, so they begged him, groveled at his feet, praying that he would accept their offer to be a corpse on their show. And Josh, he said yes. So he flew out to Hollywood, and he got his role in the show. They got him in makeup. He's in like a body bag that's opened, and he was very happy with it.
His big moment airs tonight, but we've got a sneak peek behind the scenes. Couldn't resist asking Josh to play dead one more time.
This is how I play dead.
I'm never too big of a fan of people asking someone to do like their signature move or whatever, because it just feels like that whole dance monkey dance thing, do the thing. Like, yeah, I just never really appreciate when someone does that. But when you have what Josh has, it's hard to fight that urge to ask him to play dead just one quick time. Just for the one time. And you could even see in the background, the person behind him couldn't help but peek over and take a look at Josh as he was performing his play dead stunt. I have no doubt when he does the TikToks, he draws a giant crowd, all of them scratching their chin wondering, is this man dead? And that's the whole idea of it. And honestly, I just think it's commendable. He committed to a year long of this little fun shtick. It's outrageous idea, something I've never seen done before, and he accomplished exactly what he set out to accomplish, and I think that's just overall great. But this is not the only example of hard work paying off that I'd like to highlight today. If you were on Twitch yesterday, you may have noticed a new kind of stream pop off, a particular genre that really went hard yesterday. A brand new streamer hit the scene in a big way. Her name is Eileen. Now, Eileen had a pretty interesting idea as well, to try and carve out her own niche on the platform as well as gain a lot of followers quickly. She must have been taking notes on a previous streamer I've talked about and pulled a page out of her playbook. I'm talking about the streamer who had sex on stream, got a 7-day ban, and came back bigger than ever. Well, at least bigger than she was previously. Eileen, however, didn't have sex on stream. She instead went fully nude and masturbated on stream, in front of 5,000 viewers, all looking on with a smile on their face and confusion in their hearts, wondering, how is this happening right now on Twitch? Or at least, that's what you were led to believe. The truth is, this channel never actually had 5,000 viewers during her masturbation. That was a claim that was falsely made on Livestream Fail. That is not the actual number. According to the Twitch tracking sites, the peak was around like 300, so that claim's wrong. But she really did spread her full asshole on stream and masturbate fully nude for the camera. And it was live for about 30 to 45 minutes based on all of the Twitch tracking sites that I've seen. That's about the average that I'm seeing. The question on everyone's mind, as they looked into Eileen's butthole, they couldn't help but wonder, how long is her ban length going to be? Because the streamer that fucked on stream got 7 days. What Eileen did wasn't super different. Is she also going to receive 7 days, or will this be a permanent ban? And I'd like to weigh in on this because I think this is a pretty open and shut case of a permaban. The account was created on November 3rd with the sole purpose of having this viral stunt. I'm pretty sure this was all manufactured from the get-go, and I'm also fairly confident that Eileen, the person in the video, was never actually like the one behind this. I would imagine this was taken from another cam site. They just took that cam girl's video and broadcast it on Twitch for this account, and then the post went viral because it's been such a talking point recently. Since there was a streamer that did fuck on stream, that was an actual streamer that did that, and it was a great publicity boost for her, and she benefited from it. So I imagine the idea here was to try and make that happen again on this account, and it's somewhat worked. At least in terms of a conversation regarding Twitch's policy on sexual content. The Eileen 1 account here wasn't promoting an OnlyFans, it wasn't promoting an Instagram or anything like that, and there's nothing even linked to Eileen 1 elsewhere outside of Twitch. So this really seems like it was just like a one and done thing for the sake of having like a viral controversy, I guess. And that seems to be it. I cannot imagine Twitch says this is like a 7-day ban when it's just blatantly porn on purpose for the sake of porn. But I guess we'll see. Maybe they fall for the old excuse that's already worked a couple times of didn't know I was live. But I really don't think the woman that appeared in that video was the one behind that account. I really think that it was just someone else that took the video and put it on Twitch. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, just because I find that to be a really goofy situation that was worth at least mentioning. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya. In the never-ending pursuit for internet clout and attention, no price is too high. Some degenerates on TikTok would sacrifice their own grandmother if it meant they could film a TikTok over her open casket at the funeral in order to get some followers and likes out of her tragic demise. There is just simply no depths they won't sink to. Of course, most of the shit on TikTok is fake in order to farm impressions out of it, and I'm sure you've seen it all. Fake pranks, fake rage, fake titties, but I can promise you, you probably haven't seen what I'm about to show you today. A fake suicide savior. A guy decided to try and make a viral video out of portraying himself as some kind of angel who saves a man from jumping off of a parking garage and killing himself.
On my way home from work, I noticed a teenager leaning over the parking garage. It could just be someone chilling, but it's really high up and he looks young.
What a remarkable situation we've already entered into here. This guy is a master writer. He should be working for Scorsese. A beautifully crafted narrative already. Let's suspend disbelief for a moment. So you're on your way home from work, and for some reason your attention is drawn to a teenager on top of a parking garage, and you connect dots that, wow, this guy might be up there to kill himself. How do you even reach that conclusion? And then why would you then take out your phone and film him from a distance? Like, what is the thought process there? And then also the statement of he could be chilling, but he looks young and it's high up. What does him looking young have to do with anything? Why does that matter? It could be a 95-year-old geriatric man up there. The situation doesn't change. It's just somebody on top of a parking garage looking out. It's not exactly suspicious behavior. I absolutely love that this is the best his brain could cook up. All of his neurons were firing, and this is what they produced. This is his maximum potential. This pile of dog shit. Obviously fake and scripted, yet was good enough to convince some troglodytes on TikTok that it was real. And they were patting him on the ass, telling him that he's a hero, and that the Lord chose him as a guardian angel to save that guy's life. It was actually pretty sad to read, honestly. But yeah, he's now going up to the rooftop to have a conversation, a stern talking to with the man up top in order to try and save him.
I'm going to go up there and just make sure everything is okay. Then I got there and noticed him pacing back and forth. Time to go talk. Then this happened. You never know when someone just needs a hug. Be there.
I had tears in my eyes the first time I watched this. This benevolent saint, he set up his camera and filmed himself going over there to save a life in order to teach all of us that sometimes someone just needs a hug. An overall positive message done selfishly, because he just did this to farm some likes and have people praise him for being some kind of hero because they're 11 years old and don't realize it's all fake. I just love this entire thing here. He sets up his camera before going over to talk to the suicidal person. Now let's just have a little fun and suspend disbelief. Let's assume everything we just watched was real and genuine. What a silly and whimsical idea from this guy to get his phone out before going to talk to him. Like, holy shit, this guy might actually kill himself. Where's my phone? Where's my fucking phone? I need to set this up properly. Oh, the lighting's bad. Hey, loser. If you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna jump, can you do it over there? The lighting's better. The sun's like casting a bad shadow. Can you do it over there for a better shot? My framing's off. Like, you've actually got to be fucked in the head to try and farm some internet clout out of like a legitimate suicide situation. Like, that is beyond deplorable. So obviously it's all fake. The guy isn't actually suicidal. He wasn't on the verge of jumping. It's a friend of his that was doing him a favor. It's one of his buddies. And together the two of them did a fusion dance with their smooth brains and hatched this idea for the fake suicide saving video to hopefully get some likes out of it. And it only moderately succeeded. This isn't like his best performing video or anything like that. In fact, it didn't even really get big. So he ended up just making a fucking fool out of himself for no reason and embarrassing himself publicly. But he did have about 100 or something people in the comments all praising him. A couple other people in the comments did say like, yeah, it might be fake and scripted, but it's a positive message. And you're not wrong. The message is positive, yeah. Sometimes maybe a person could use a hug, a consensual hug. And not like a just jump scare hug where you squeeze them like a tube of Go-Gurt, you know? Just a nice, friendly hug might be a helpful thing. So I guess the message overall isn't bad, but it's done because he wanted to gain from it, and he tried to play it off like this was a real thing that happens. I'd be more inclined to believe that this is a good guy trying to spread a good message if his other fake shit wasn't so vain like this.
Walking back to my car when I noticed this guy taking pics in front of it. I was totally cool with it until he started to sit on it.
Yeah. Can I see the inside? Yeah, hold on. Let me just get the keys out of my bag.
Bro, thank you, man. So crazy, man. This is my dream car.
Oh, you can't find the keys, bro?
Dude, they gotta be here.
What's this then?
What do you...
Wait, it's my fucking car, bro. Get out of here.
When he's not doing the old peck dance on TikTok, he's flexing his expensive cars and his wealth and making these little fake pranks and situations around them. I also had a good giggle at that one in particular because I'm pretty sure the guy that was leaning on his car is the same guy from his suicide script, and also he forgot to remove the fucking rental tag from the keychain. That is a goddamn rented car that I'm sure they got just for the sake of banging out some fake TikTok pranks. So it's not even his ride to begin with. So it really feels like a guy that's just desperate for attention, so he really thought by pretending to save someone from killing themselves, it'd help blow up his TikTok career. But that kind of fell flat. It put it on my radar though, because I love seeing goofy shit like this and people like sinking to the absolute depths of hell to scrounge together the most awful ideas and actually going through with them. I think there's nothing more shameful than trying to pretend like you saved someone from killing themselves. There's really no justification for it. You went through the effort of making this shittily acted B-movie Hallmark thing to try and like make yourself seem like some kind of hero or great person. It'd of course be worse if this was a real situation where he actually did encounter someone going through such a hard time they were considering suicide and he decided to try and use them as a prop for his own gain. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, choosing between two evils, this was the lesser one. At least he faked it. It wasn't actually a suicidal person that he tried to farm for internet clout. But I will say he's somewhat of a pioneer, I've got to be honest. I haven't seen someone fake something like this before, and it's pretty low. It's not the worst fake shit I've ever seen online. That still goes to fake animal rescue videos. Those absolute sick fucks. For those that don't know, on YouTube there is a very popular genre of content where these absolute scumbag pieces of shit take animals and put them in dangerous situations like fighting a snake. Sometimes they even like run over their leg with a tire, so they put the animal under a car tire and then they film themselves saving the animal as if they just encountered it and now they're gonna save it and take care of it. It's so fucking gross. And those are still extremely popular on video. Fuck those fake animal rescue videos. That shit is awful. I know I'm getting a little off topic, I'm getting carried away, but that makes me just absolutely heated to know that that shit still exists. But bringing it back to the topic, faking this kind of thing I still think is extremely low, tasteless, and just downright awful. That's about it. See ya. I'm Jaystation, the shittiest YouTuber on the website, the shittiest person on the website. You either know him from the videos I made last year talking about some of his fucked up shit, or you just know him from the absolutely horrible content that he produces. He's the guy that does only those 3 a.m. things where he exploits a celebrity's death for money, calling Mac Miller at 3 a.m., calling Etika at 3 a.m., calling XX Tentacion at 3 a.m. He said my dick was massive and said to subscribe. Terrible, terrible garbage. He looks like if a hemorrhoid was brought to life, and he sounds like if someone was shoving nails in your ears. He says the word guys 1,000,000 times per video to the point where it makes it seem like that word has no meaning anymore. He's just this fucking YouTuber pinworm, and I know you watch these videos, Jason, and I know you're too fucking stupid to spell pinworm to Google what that is yourself, so I'll tell you. The pinworms are the parasites that live in your asshole, usually when you're a baby and they make it super itchy. That's what you are, a shit-eating parasite. But what he's done this time has just gone way too far. He's faked his girlfriend's death for views and sympathy, and he uses it just to promote a second channel. And it's not like he makes it a skitter, lets the audience know it's fake. He tries to convince them that the girl they liked in his videos is dead, just fucking brutalized by a drunk driver, rotting 6 feet in the ground now because of it, and all she wanted was 1,000,000 subscribers on a second channel, and that's all it's used for, to promote the second channel and make people, you know, feel like they have to support her memory. He keeps saying all she wants is 1,000,000 subscribers on this second channel. It's all she wanted, and then he links the channel. It's fucking disgusting, really. And it's not like this is the only fucked up thing he's done recently. For example, he made this video here, buying a slave off the dark web. Jason, are you fucking kidding me? Also, I didn't know this until today, but a YouTuber named Mimi made this video here, and in it she talks about when Jason flew from Canada to Texas to hang out with a minor and spend the night alone with her. And Mimi conducted an interview with that girl, and she said she stayed awake all night just because she was paranoid about what Jason might try. That's your fucking legacy, Jason. You fly thousands of miles to hang out with a minor who is afraid of you and feels like you're such a weirdo you might try something when you're alone. But anyway, before we get too sidetracked with his track record of terrible, awful, deplorable shit, let's show you his recent one. Here's a video where he announces his girlfriend's death.
What's up, guys? I never wanted to make a video like this, ever. Last night around 11 p.m., I got a call from her parents telling me what happened. As you guys probably know, we had a channel together called Dream Team. We just hit 300,000 subscribers. Her dream was just to get 1,000,000 subscribers, and we were so close to doing that, guys. After talking with her parents, we both agreed that I should post the remainder videos that we filmed for that channel on that channel. It was her dream to get 1,000,000 subscribers, so out of respect for her, because I know that's what she would want, I'm gonna post those videos there.
Ah yes, nothing sounds more genuine when announcing someone's death, quite like constantly promoting a fucking YouTube channel. And of course, like all loving and good parents, less than 24 hours after their child's death, they want their YouTube channel to pop the fuck off, baby. Let's get some clout on that YouTube channel. Their child is dead. Can we get 1,000,000 subscribers? Oh, of course, that sounds just like what a parent would do in their mourning. Yeah, while they're grieving, I'm sure they gave this limp-dick loser permission to start posting videos on that channel. In fact, they probably just encouraged it. I'm honestly surprised Jason doesn't have video filming their parents crying. Of course, this is all fake, but in the event that it was real, I'd be surprised if Jason didn't try and film the shit out of it to exploit that. This shit is incredibly fake. Yeah, I was half expecting her to pop out of that fucking Egyptian sarcophagus behind him, but that didn't happen because he's trying to play it off as something real to try and grow that channel through sympathy like this. Now, I didn't want to talk about this until it was 100% confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt to be faked, which it has. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the girl did really quit and leave Jason behind because he's apparently so insufferable and creepy. By the way, Jason, when I made those 2 videos about you last year, your former friends and some of the people you still work with reached out to me on Instagram to shit on you and try and expose you. But I just didn't care enough about you as a person to read through everything they sent, but it looks like not even your friends friends like you. But you are apparently a big piece of shit in the real world, so I do think she probably quit and he came up with this narrative to spin this, to gain subscribers on that channel and just get some quick views out of it. And now, when I said it's been confirmed beyond a shadow of doubt to be faked, I'll go into detail on what I mean. A YouTuber named Muda from Some Ordinary Gamers did extensive research on the subject because he felt genuinely bad for Jason in this situation because he believed it. But he wanted to confirm it because there was not a lot to go on, so he did a ton of research. In a follow-up video that I'm Jaystation posted, he visited the exact spot that she allegedly perished in the car accident. Muda and a bunch of other internet detectives were able to find exactly what road that was, and there was nothing in the reports that indicate that any fatal drunk driving accident had occurred during the time period. And to go even a step further, Muda contacted the fucking police department of the area to just do this all-encompassing, once and for all, is it real, is it fake? He calls the police department and he films the conversation with the officer's consent, and the officer confirms once and for all that no one by the name of Alexia had perished in a drunk driving accident or in general. There was only one case with anyone named Alexia, and it wasn't fatal or anything like that, or even remotely associated with a drunk driving accident. So I think it's safe to say that it is a faked stunt for views and subscribers. Also, I don't like saying Jason faked his girlfriend's death because that implies he put effort into the ruse, which he absolutely did not. He made a crying video that was just super shitty. He also didn't know where tears come from because he kept wiping his eyebrows as if his fucking eyebrows were leaking. It was terrible, and he put no effort into it. When you say faked your girlfriend's death, I was expecting some Looney Tunes shit, like Jason tricked her into going into a house to get like $5,000 from the counter, but then Jason on the outside had like this fucking cartoon plunger and he pushes it and the house blows up. That would be faking her death. What he did was just lie about her dying. That's significantly less effort and also shittier. It's so fucking terrible, and the whole thing is pathetic. Somehow Jason is constantly able to find new ways of being pitiful, and even to a certain extent I kind of feel bad for him because he is so infected by his own ego that he will stoop to low levels that we've never seen before on this platform. Just such a sad, sad man, really. That's about it. See ya. Oh, I've seen this girl's channel. This is a fetish. This girl just like blasts mean burps into the camera for 50-some videos. It's like really gross. Like, I burp a lot, but my burps are kind of like innocent sounding, not like revolting, repulsive shit. Her burps are like disgusting.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite... Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen this one. She
Hey
shit her
everyone,
pants.
It's your favorite... Oh, burping girl, Andrea.
Yeah.
And today we have some corn nuts, barbecue flavor. Ooh.
The comments are what always get me. Though there are still some weird ones. Can you show feet and burp on them? So. That fart was... To be fair, it was a good fart. I'll leave that a thumbs up, I agree. That fart was top notch. I could literally hear the shit hitting her underpants. How much would it cost for a private session with you to what, like just burp at him? I love farts from Brazil. That sounds about right. Porn has been taken over by Brazilian fart porn. I don't know how often you guys go on Pornhub, but like almost the only thing left on there is fart porn.
Ooh, they're pretty stinky on their own.
Ooh, I could. Ooh, listen to that stink sound. Very rank.
Crunchy.
Actually, I don't know if I've seen this one. Maybe she just like shits her pants at the beginning of all of them. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Now we're feeling it. I can hear the relief.
They're so good.
I'm like vicariously tasting them.
Oh, these are making my burp stink.
What does it
Come
smell
closer
like?
so I can
Ass?
smell them.
Yes. Ooh, yes, corn nuts. Oh my god. How abhorrent. Yucky. What true God-given talent.
You hear that crunch?
Yeah. Oh, surprise. A little more than I bargained for. I think we're a little overdue for more Burping Girl content, but hey, if you guys aren't interested in seeing what real content looks like, then I can't help you with your bad taste.
A lot of good meat in them. There's 5 to 7 different types of meat in this turtle. Oh yeah.
5 to 7 different types of meat in a turtle? No, there is not. What are you eating? Turtle chimera? There's only one type of meat in a turtle. Turtle meat, I imagine. It doesn't look like moonshine at all. It just looks like someone's minstrel cycle that they jarred up. Just stop flavoring moonshine. Like, it's so worthless. No one's drinking moonshine for the fucking flavors. Ah, I put a nice little garnish on this one. Ah, this one tastes like Fruit Loops. Great. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, I hear you, chat. What do we want? More Burping Girl. When do we want her? Uh-oh. Ooh, it's gonna get stinky. Oh, she can't even make it home. Oh, she took down my internet.
I am so
Oh, no, we're back.
When am I never? Where a burping girl can be herself.
What kind of aspect ratio was all of that filmed in? This looks like someone was looking through a box at one of the carnivals from the 80s, and they saw, like, pictures of boobies, but instead they just get
Hey Charlie, I just
Burping
got my
Girl.
first page.
I need more gassy food.
That was good camera work.
Yeah, they were delicious.
To be fair, the camera work there is better than anything in the DC movie universe. My goodness. Well, I think that's probably enough. She can't get stinkier than that. She's definitely peaked with that last one. Could literally feel the impact of little dookie droplets hitting her panties. Hi there. I keep getting asked to talk about the Tide Pod Challenge, so I'll talk about that for a moment. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's where you eat a Tide laundry detergent pod, take a video and post it online, because apparently our species is devolving, and because the Tide Pods are colorful, that means they look like candy. Now, I think it's fucking dumb. That's nothing new, that's not a groundbreaking, valuable insight or perspective, it's not reinventing the wheel, it's not opening any third eyes. I think that's an opinion shared by anyone with common sense. But I do think I'm at that age where I just don't understand the new generation. I really don't get people that are younger than me anymore. I don't understand their music with their low pumps and their nonsense mumble rap that you have to walk through Google Translate just to even get it in English, and I don't even think it was ever in English in the first place. I think Google Translate just has doomsday protocols where if it can't make out what you type in, it just throws up the closest English word to whatever verbal queefing came from the rap song. I don't get why every rap song has to treat everyone like a child by teaching us what certain things sound like. For instance, the biggest one being guns. The gun goes bang bang, brat brat, and then coming through on my car, skirt skirt. It's just so fucking childish. It's some elementary school shit, like when you press a button on one of the toys to tell you what a cow sounds like. I don't understand why everything is savage and lit now. I don't get why all the young people idolize internet personalities and worship them like boring-ass douchebags like Rice Gum and the Paul brothers. Just the worst braggadocio, fake personality pieces of shit there are. And the Tide Pod Challenge is another example of something I just don't understand. I really don't get why this would ever be an issue or a meme in the first place where people are actually dying from it and there has to be statements made by certified professionals, don't eat Tide Pods. Excuse me, I have a PhD in Tide Pod abstinence. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. I've done my research. It's just fucking dumb, you know? Why do you need a fucking Tide Pod avoidance expert to come on TV and tell you not to eat them? Now, since the Tide Pod Challenge has taken off in a big way, the Poison Control's hotlines have been ringing off the hook like a fucking 2004 radio station being requested Green Day songs by callers. And I'm no stranger when it comes to poison control. In fact, recently, about a month ago, a big fucking flying cockroach crawled up from my bathtub drain, and I had to battle with that motherfucker. It was like a clash of titans. It was some David versus Goliath shit. It was biblical. Cockroach, of course, being David, me being Goliath, even though I'm short enough where the cockroach and I would probably be eye level if on an even playing field. But anyway, for the sake of the story, I was Goliath, it was David, and I managed to trap it in a bucket. And the cockroach was definitely fast enough. It definitely had maxed out agility, 99 there. And if I had lifted that bucket, I don't think I would have been able to hit it in one swift motion and smash it. So instead I turned to Snapchat after I trapped it, and I was asking for suggestions on how to kill it. Tried filling up the bathtub with water and drowning it. It could swim. Of course, it probably fucking brought scuba gear. It was well equipped. This was a special ops cockroach. Long story short, after a lot of other Scooby-Doo-esque suggestions, it wasn't enough to kill it. So another dude on Snapchat suggested bleach and ammonia to kill it. And like a fucking idiot, I was blinded by fear of this cockroach. I didn't think. And I did bleach and ammonia, and for those of you who don't know, it creates chlorine gas, which is, it's fatal. It can be fatal. So I'm fucking sitting there in my bathtub making chlorine gas, which, you know, it does kill the cockroach, luckily, but then I've got this fucking issue of, well, I've just poisoned my whole fucking bathroom, so call poison control and take care of that. The long story to go full circle here, I understand poison control. I've called them. That's kind of what I was saying, yeah. And now these Tide Pod stupid people are calling poison control as well. Those are some fucking heroes there at poison control with the amount of shit they have to put up with. Stupid stories like dudes making chlorine gas trying to kill a cockroach and people eating Tide Pods. Those are the fucking heroes we need to celebrate. But anyway, moving on, I kind of thought it'd be interesting to talk about how eating Tide Pods will kill you. Could kill you, not will. So what typically happens is most people who do this chew on it and it bursts. Now the second it bursts, your mouth is going to burn. Absolutely just... It gets lit up. It's going to hurt like a bitch. If you swallow the detergent like some brave soldiers out there have done, it can burn your esophagus, burns your stomach lining. Most of the time, you're going to puke it up. Almost 100% of the time, you're going to puke it up. But those unlucky people who happen to have gasped or inhaled once it burst and it goes into their lungs, they're in a bit more of a sticky situation. The people who swallow it smoothly aren't really at a risk for dying from it. It's going to hurt really badly. It's going to burn your stomach hard and it's going to feel like shit. But when you inhale it, that's when you put yourself at a real risk of dying. So it can burn your lung lining, obviously, but what can happen when that happens is it starts filling up with fluid, and then you've got a lot of respiratory shit that's about to go wrong, and that's when people die from it. Mostly kids. Kids die from it, but some teenagers have died from the Tide Pod challenge as well, and that's how. It's not really from swallowing it, which does hurt you and can cause some long-term damage, but it's not typically fatal. It's when it gets into your lungs where you have the real issue. Not that that makes it okay to do it as long as you keep your fucking nose plugged and you don't breathe while you do it. That doesn't make it okay. Because, I mean, obviously it still carries that very big risk. But the people in these stories like this I feel most bad for aren't the dumb people that were stupid enough to do the Tide Pod challenge. It's the people that get affected if they die from it. It's embarrassing, really, more than anything. Like, shit. No one's going to want to tell your story how it actually happened. No one is going to want to say, how'd you lose your brother? Well, it was the Tide Pod challenge. That's just embarrassing. That's fucking sad more than anything. So if you're going to take the Tide Pod challenge, at least have a story backed up in case you do die from it. A good story. One that your family would be proud to tell. Something like, oh, how did Jefferson die? Well, our neighbor's house caught on fire and he heard 2 cats inside and 3 children crying. The parents weren't in there, so he busted in there like the hero that he was in the flames. And then there was ninjas in there as well, so he had to fight off the ninjas while inhaling all the smoke in the flames. He managed to get all of them out alive, but unfortunately he perished. See, like, this is a good story to tell. It's a lot better than saying you died from a Tide Pod. But yeah, anyway, that's really all I got to say about the whole Tide Pod challenge thing going on. I'm excited for 2018's newest trend that'll be taking off soon. I suspect it'll be something like snorting cyanide challenge. That'll be fun. But yeah, that's it. See ya.